There's the man.
Oh, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. Right now, you've been obviously in the industry for what? How many years has it been? Like, you've been here for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I bodybuilded before, so I turned pro back in 2000 and I can't even remember now, 2009, let's say.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in bodybuilding, like living it when I was younger, and then I kind of took a break because I got a job doing security. So and then I mean, I competed a few times, and things didn't go too well, and then got some injuries and some surgeries, and was like, I think I'm done with all that.
Nice.
I'll still be big, but I'm not stepping on stage. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no one wants to see that anymore. They're gonna be like, put your clothes on, but
But when I look back at those photos, your symmetry and everything was pretty good, bro. Like, you looked pretty amazing. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't. I think for like a guy my size, I was pretty balanced. It's just I was never like looking back. I didn't have the leg size and kind of like the density because of
mm,
my frame. Just to like, it wasn't in me to have that. So it's not like I think with all the hard work in the world, it just kind of would have been like I'm still kind of just a big guy and I'm never
mm,
gonna have legs like Hottie or like you know what I mean. I'm not built like that. I got kind of
mm,
white boy skinny legs. So
yeah.
it's like
So nowadays, like, what's your training like look like? I know you've got your own kind of style. Give us some insight on, like, your protocol.
uh, personally, I mean I've kind of lately gotten back into kind of pushing myself a little more in the gym. For a while I was pretty kind of just coasting in the gym and enjoying my workouts and kind of pushing myself more when it comes to boxing because I box like 5 6 days a week usually.
Mm,
So you gotta kind of gotta pick and choose your energy bursts when it comes to that.
mm,
If you're getting too worn out lifting weights, getting boxing is going to be pretty fucking tough, and vice versa, right? So
yeah.
I just, yeah, I mean, I kind of follow the bro split still. I guess you could say I kind of I've had issues where I've had both my hips replaced, right? So
Mm, wow.
I don't really I still push myself on legs, but it's more of a controlled, like concerted effort because like I kind of put myself in these predicaments with my hips, right, where I was kind of being reckless and
Mm, mm,
my first hip surgery I did, which was a resurfacing, which was my original right hip. I ended up like 5 years to the day going back to get that as a total replacement because I fucked it up so bad.
wow.
Because I was just lifting too heavy and thinking that I was living in a normal body still, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
So my body was like, "Fuck you, dude." Yeah.
So most people that are coming to, work with you, as a coach, what is their, like, obviously you have your own style, but do most people, are they trying to lift heavy? Are they trying to get symmetry? Like, what's their goal usually when people come to work with you?
Uh, I mean, I can't really speak to their like what I'm trying to do with most people I train is maybe assess like, if it comes to like a bodybuilder who's looking to bring up, let's say, a specific body part, then
Mm,
it's like let's address why, well, let's address what you've been doing, and then there may be nothing wrong with what you're doing. It may just be the way you're doing it that's kind of off, or
mm,
you know what I mean? So it's like kind of correcting mechanics and not necessarily saying that their mechanics are bad. Their mechanics have created an environment where they have great muscle already, but maybe there's some inadequacies because they're so strong in one posture, let's say, but if you take them out of that a little bit, they're completely weak and inept, right? So it's like you have to when you get to a certain point of development, it's like you got to kind of humble yourself and go back to like, well, I'm not strong here, and that kind of explains why this is a shortcoming of mine. So
mm,
now I gotta check my ego and start to learn how to move again, and then I'll be just as strong as I was before, but
mm,
I'll be moving more efficiently, right? So I have that
mm,
kind of combination, and I mean, the predominantly my clients are just kind of just everyday people who want to like. I train older guys, I train older ladies, I train young kids, I train all anybody who wants to train can train with me. It's not like I
mm,
have some prerequisite you need to like fit the mold of a pro bodybuilder, but because
mm,
movement is movement, right? And a lot of people, especially when you come to like everyday just people who enjoy working out, they they'll self-admittedly tell you they're pretty lost in the gym. Like they have an
mm,
idea of what they're doing, but they'll be like, it could be as simple as like every time I do my chest, my shoulders fucking hurt for like 4 days after. And it's like, well,
mm.
that's not a normal thing, dude. So let's kind of
mm,
assess that. Like you don't have bad shoulders, you got bad form.
mm,
So
mm,
it's like it's the same as if you're a boxer and you're constantly punching the bag and your fucking shoulders are killing you. It's like, well, you're not punching properly, dude. You're just
mm,
swinging your arm. You wouldn't keep doing that, thinking
mm,
that, oh, it's just hurts because that's what happens when you do stuff. It's like, but bodybuilders will do that. They're like, if it hurts,
mm,
that's okay. It means it's working. It's like, no, just kind of like reprogramming people, and not so much. It's not to like put down what they've been doing or to like tell them to abandon what they think or how they train. It's just like, let's hopefully I can get you moving in the right path, and then you're just on your way. And then if there's something else I can help you with, then cool. You know what I mean? Or if
mm.
you want me to do all the thinking for you, like a lot of my clients, they just want to come and train. It's like it's no problem for me because I'm just going to get you really good at the basics, and then we're going to build off the basics. So
Mm. Well, speaking of basics, I know that, one of the key staples, I don't know if we'll call it a basic, but is your, obviously you've got your Hydro Pure and you mix that with cream of rice, right?
yeah,
Um,
that's kind of why like I reached out to you guys in the sense that like I don't like people who know me who may watch this now or watch it later. I don't really fuck with anybody. So
mm,
I don't really get down with a lot of people in this industry. Like I'm obviously very cool with Fuad and Seth, and they have their brands and stuff, but I'm not a part of their brand, right? And I have my own
mm,
brand stuff, pre-workout and shit. But I was talking with Trevor, who's going to be on next, and like both of us, like I won't say the cream of rice because I'm not here to promote them. There's a particular brand of cream of rice I like, and
mm,
I've been like since I started eating cream of rice, I was racking my brain. I'm like trying to find all these different like what mixes the best of this because I can't eat this fucking alone. It's
mm,
disgusting. Like
mm,
no matter what flavor it is, it's not
mm,
enjoyable.
mm,
So I'm like, and I want to get my protein in. So, and I don't like eating a ton of meat and like a ton of food. I'm more of like a just get it in and get it over with type thing. So
mm,
yeah, when I came across Hydropure, I mean, I've known about Nutrabolics for years. Like I know when you guys were like fucking kind of heavy into like MMA and different
mm,
sports like Bobby Lashley and stuff. I remember seeing you
mm,
guys like, and I've always known about you just because I'm Canadian. You guys are Canadian, and
mm,
I saw Hydropure at like Healthy Planet all the time, and I'm like, well, Hydro Whey, like I've always, every time I've had a Hydro Whey of any kind in the past, I've always had better digestion with it. So I was like, fuck it. I didn't see many options, and I was like, I'll try it, and then thank God I did because now it's all I spend my money on apparently.
mm.
But you should see my fucking buying history at Healthy Planet. I'm probably like a fucking rewards member at this point. But I'm like, yeah, no, it mixes really well. I have a shake in the morning for breakfast. Obviously, I have my Hydro Pure with that because I mean, that's what I use. But I have it with my shake and digest well. And then like the key benefit, like you said, is like that mixing with the cream and rice. Like it's just fucking
Mm,
people. It sounds stupid to someone listening. Like, what does it matter? But it's like it matters, dude. Like
mm,
it matters how well it mixes because you can get cream of rice and combine it with protein powder, and it turns into like a fucking soup. Like literally, once the powder touches it, it turns into like soup that you could drink. And it's like I don't. When I whip it up with you guys, and like I add like my little bit of like, a little almond butter and shit, and like a salt, it's like cake batter, bro. So I'm like,
mm, mm.
this is like having dessert twice a day, and I'm not like,
Nice.
I'm not being a fat ass and eating donuts like I normally do. So
Nice.
you know what I
What
mean?
do you find that like there's a difference, your body's different from like say like a regular oatmeal to a cream of rice? Like can you give us some logic on why you choose cream of rice?
Well, cream of rice, just because honestly, I bring my cream and rice meals because I think a lot of people can kind of identify with this. When I'm training people, and obviously people who work regular jobs, you don't have like a ton of time to get meals in.
Mm,
And I space my clients in a way that like I have kind of like a 20-minute break or 30-minute break between clients, and it's a really easy way to get in the calorie you need and the protein you need
mm,
within like I can eat that meal in 5 minutes, like because I'm
mm,
just wolfing it down like fucking nothing, right? So
mm,
that's the real benefit of it for me. And I also, like I said, I'm not a guy who like I have a couple meals a day where I eat like a fucking pretty decent amount of rice and meat, but I can't do that all day. Like
mm,
my digestion just does not facilitate that. Like I'm going to be uncomfortable all day if I'm eating four solid meals like that or five solid meals. So
mm.
I just broke them down into the two cream of rice meals with the hydro, and it's like nothing. Like I feel
Nice.
like I could just go right back to work. I don't get like that kind of, I want to take a nap after I eat a meal.
Oh no, I
It's
get
just,
that. Honestly, I
yeah,
get that a lot
yeah.
myself.
It's
Yeah.
not like it's not really conducive to like being a trainer and having to pay attention. You're like dozing off on your
Mm,
client.
mm,
So yeah, it's been a like that's why me and Trevor like I had this conversation with him. I was like, like I'm buying this shit all the time, and I'm buying this regardless of
Mm,
like your guys' participation in the academy and like how cool you guys are, whatever. I'll still buy the product, but it's like, why don't
mm,
I get behind? Why don't I, as a brand, start getting behind a brand and a person and an individual getting behind the things that I actually use? Like,
mm,
I use your product, so like, why wouldn't I want to be affiliated with you guys and
mm,
promote you in any way I can, and just kind of like be there alongside you guys, right? Because like
mm,
I don't fuck with anything. Like if I don't like it,
mm,
I don't use it. That's why I've been approached by this company, that company, this like everyone is like on the internet, and
mm,
it's like I would never use that shit. Whether it's a
mm,
fucking fitness mirror or like a
mm,
fucking step meter, like you know what I mean? Like
mm.
so
No,
I'm just gonna like stay with the things I use like organically, and
mm.
hopefully there's a synergy there where we both like kind of benefit from the partnership, right?
Absolutely. So give us some insight, like for myself, like, obviously you've got a lot of size, right? It's quite obvious. So what's your diet and nutrition and like kind of like what for guys that are like hard gainers, like what's kind of the ratio you're telling them to eat?
I don't really do nutrition necessarily, but I mean, I can speak from personal experience. Like, I'm not someone that has a hard time gaining weight. If anything, I
Mm,
don't have a hard time losing weight either. It's just kind of my appetite gets in the way sometimes, right? But I
mm,
mean, for the average person, like you're not enhanced, let's say, it's going to be pretty tough to really pound away the calorie you need or that
mm,
you perceive that you need to put on the size that you want. So when it comes to I know they kind of like this new wave that we're in the world where like everything's like eat real food, all this, da da da. It's like, dude, protein powder is real food.
mm,
It's not like it's some type of fucking chemical they pulled out of a
mm,
fucking lab. Like it's literally a byproduct of stuff, right? So
mm,
it's like I just find in my ability, if I'm trying to get put size on or I'm trying to like really push myself in the gym and I want to get that calorie in, like I said, I can't eat six fucking solid meals a day. I just
mm,
physically cannot do it. Like I'll by the time dinner time comes around or like my last two meals come around, I'm grunting through that, like fucking
mm,
taking 45 minutes to eat it, right? So I'd rather just I using things like cream of rice, using things like your protein mix with it. It's like I'm hitting the numbers I want to hit
mm,
and I'm actually enjoying what I'm eating. And I'm when I'm done eating it, I'm like, I could probably eat another one of those,
mm,
like if I really
mm.
wanted, but I'm gonna wait till I eat it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What's your goal in 2026 for yourself? Like, are you looking to maintain, grow, tighten up? Give us some insight.
To be honest, I don't really have like I just like trying to keep improving my like my body composition. I like to like see certain areas come down and just generally overall be healthy, especially when it comes to blood work and what's going on internally. So I'm I'm obviously aware of what's happening visually, but it's like I want to also just feel like I'm 45. I don't want to feel 25, but I want to feel like a good 45. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm,
I want to be able to like box. I want to be able to like walk my dogs. I want to be able to lift the way I want to lift and just enjoy the things that I do, right? So my goal is not to like attain a certain weight or to do something like guys have goals of getting on stage or girls have goals of getting on stage. Like that's a lifetime ago for me, right? So
mm,
no, it's just kind of being as kind of physically fit and physically, I guess, have a dominance of being physical, like in my own body, like understanding how to like put on muscle and things like that, and just kind of do it
mm,
in a healthy way, as healthy
mm.
as I can, understanding that like I'm made of like 80% fake parts. So
Yeah. When I'm sitting here and I'm chatting with you, I'm saying to myself, "Holy shit, this guy's traps are unbelievable." Like, I want to bring up my traps. Like, it's kind of like, what tip can you give people for people that want to bring a muscle group up, like say, like your traps?
well, like I said, number one would be that you're try to learn from people that are like obviously watching people that have the body part that you want to help bring up, like seeing how they move would be a good indicator of where to start. Don't necessarily listen to it's great to listen to people who tell you how to train and can like say this is mechanically and biomechanically what should happen to build your traps, but it's like, well, I see that this dude's traps are up in his ears
Mm,
and I'm going to go watch at first what I like with this guy has great biceps. Let's say it's like Phil Heath, you have great arms. I'm going to go watch Phil Heath train arms. I'm going to
mm,
watch the videos and I'm going to like examine what it is that he's doing, not just like what exercises do you pick, like how does he start his movement, Like, how is he contracting the muscle? How is his body motion? Like all this stuff, right? So
Mm,
I think, well, that art form has kind of gone away from people. I mean, guys like our age, or maybe you're a little younger than me, like that's how I had to learn. I had to learn
mm,
from people that I knew, and then I had to watch people on like YouTube or in videos, VHS, even back in the day, and be like I had a Nasser El Body training video, like when I was
mm,
younger, and it was like him getting ready for the Olympia, and I watched how that fucking guy did like rows, and it was like, man, you're obviously way bigger than I am, and your range of motion is therefore limited because you just can't physically move. But it's like I see the intent behind the motion. And I'm like, oh, I should try that because I don't do that. Like I'm not putting that much thought into it, right? And then
mm,
you'll find yourself evolving over time. But definitely, like any other sport, and I said that's why bodybuilding gets weird and fitness gets weird. Any other sport, if I wanted to like hit home runs like Barry Bonds, I'd go watch tape on Barry Bonds and how he swings and maybe any breakdown he does, or you know what I
mm,
mean, get him to
mm,
explain it in his way because he actually does what I want to do.
mm,
Therefore,
mm,
he has firsthand experience and can pass on that knowledge. And then I can look to other people who are more technical and like giving little tips on like where to put your head or where your balance should be. But like I want to see the mechanics of what is the good thing, right? So if I see a guy with great traps, I'm going to look for videos of him either training or explaining what he does and like kind of mimic that motion as best as I can
mm,
and then go from there. But I mean, like looking in, it's all good to look in books and to follow these kind of sciency type things, but it's like at the end of the day, you're gonna have to like just do it. Like someone
mm,
could tell you how to punch, but like you're gonna have to punch the bag, and you're gonna
mm.
have to make contact and understand what that feels like before you progress, right? So,
Well, just give me some insight because I'm interested. Like, how many times a week would you train your traps?
oh, when I
Once?
was no, well, yeah, now, but when I was like when I was younger, the thing that got me into working, I was into working out, but the thing that really pushed me to work out was I saw, I don't know if you remember EAS, the brand. They
Of
had
course.
they
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
they had Phosphagen HP.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is like to me when I was that young, I was like, this is steroids. Like this is gonna make me huge. I was like, it's creatine and sugar. I was like,
Yeah.
but like they had a promo ad in like all the muscle mags, and it was like Shannon Sharp kind of like standing with like a dumbbell, like kind of side facing the screen. It was just like a promotion that he was a sponsor.
Mm,
And he's got, and at that time I was like whatever 14 or something. Like Shannon Sharp's traps looked like they were like another piece of his body to me.
yeah.
If I saw the ad now, I'd probably be like, oh, he's skinny or something. But in
Yeah.
my mind then, I was like, man, this guy's jacked. Like, I didn't even know what that muscle was. I was like, what is that? Like,
Yeah.
how do you even get that? And then I realized, then I read, and I'm like, oh, you're supposed to shrug. I'm like, so I was just like literally shrugging in my fucking garage with my weight set as much
Mm,
as I could put on the bar. And I
mm,
was doing it like every other day. But I was also
oh,
14 years old and like 15 years old. So
yeah.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is gonna expedite the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, as I got older, I just always had a good affinity to feel my traps, and I could understand like the positioning of my body to like get my back to move the way as opposed to like just
Mm,
straining my neck and shoulders.
mm,
So it's just like I've done a bunch of videos on that on my channel, just like head positioning and where you should be, and your arms should break when you're doing a trap. They shouldn't be stiff. Like you should be. There should be a pulling motion up. And
mm,
I'm like, and then so I just kind of went from there. But it was always like a staple lift of mine. Like my lifts when I was bodybuilding that were always like the lifts I pushed in terms of like the envelope and power and
mm,
everything was always like some type of press,
mm,
definitely some type of like hack squat because I didn't like it wasn't a big barbell squatter. And then
mm,
I was also like big into shrugs
mm,
or like kind of like rack pull type things, right? Because I didn't like
mm,
true deadlifts. So I would kind of just hammer the point home to my body where I was like, yo, you better make these grow or
mm.
this is going to be bad for us, right? So,
I
but yeah, I wouldn't recommend that to people. I mean, if you're as long as you're understanding, like if you're not connecting with your traps, then let's get that happening first, even if the weight has to go down and you have to
mm,
like kind of maybe even do with dumbbells so you have more dexterity in your arms to be able to like rise up and not
mm,
be fixed on a bar.
mm,
And then like just kind of play with it and
mm,
see where you feel it the most, and then kind of obviously progress up in weight as much as you can. Don't
mm,
think that necessarily you progressing in weight as fast as possible like I was is going to be the key. It's like just practice, like obviously challenging yourself, but the focus should be more on feeling that muscle working every time you train it. So the
mm,
more I feel things every time I train it, the better I get at engaging.
mm,
the weight goes up without me trying to make it go up. It's just like it's too light, so I got to
mm,
put more on, right?
mm.
So
So
yeah,
I want.
basically shrug every day of your life and you'll get huge.
I wanted to ask you because it's kind of personally I'm interested. I know you were the bodyguard for Drake.
Mhm.
Give us some insight in terms of what that was like, and did you ever have a moment or like a really close call that you could share with us that you're comfortable sharing with us, like where it was like some shit went down, just some juice, give us some juice on something maybe that people might find interesting.
Well, I wouldn't be much of a bodyguard if I told anything like that, but no, but it was my time with him was I was with him for almost 6 years. So it was a good time. Like it's hard. It's a hard job. Like anyone that's done security or personal security knows it's like it's not so much the job is pretty kind of like mundane. It's kind of the same thing over and over again. There's not a lot going on, especially when the person's kind of an intelligent, level-headed person who's not putting themselves in like harm's way. Do you know what I mean? So if you had someone who's reckless, yeah, I'm sure it's pretty fucking stressful. But I mean, it's just kind of the monotony of kind of doing the same thing every day. You don't get
Mm,
much sleep because a lot of these, like him for example, he's not like he's always on the go. So it's like go, 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 and gotta do this, gotta do that. So you got to be ready to do it as well. So
mm,
it's not for. I'd say the older you get, the harder it's going to be, and the older you get, you should probably look for a client that's like a little more calm, like a family
mm,
man. I mean,
mm,
but I mean, working for him, I learned it was a great experience, and it was a great. I had great people around me. He's a great guy, and I have no complaints. But I can't tell you any bad things that happened. There wasn't many to tell, to be honest. But there's
mm.
nothing I'd be willing to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, for anybody out there who's in security, right, and they want to say maybe they're thinking like, how do I get to someone like Drake? I don't know. I mean, what's the story on that? Like, that's probably an interesting story. Like, how did you and Drake kind of hook up for that to, manifest?
No, it wasn't really. I didn't hook up with him. It wasn't him at all. A guy that I worked for in Toronto, who I did some security work for and protection work for, actually had a mutual friend of kind of their crew. So it
Mm,
wasn't necessarily directly related to Drake. And an introduction was made between us, and then it just it kind of simmered, it kind of faded away. And then all of a sudden, I got a call one day when I was actually on vacation. It was
mm,
I was in Aruba, and they called my boss at the time and were like, yo, we'd really like to try out Mike and see if he'd be willing to come down for a weekend and like see how he moves and see how we get along with him and shit. And
mm,
that's just kind of how it started. I was kind of on a as needed basis for a while, where if they had a team of guys who were great, and if they go places where they wanted to like beef up a little bit and have a couple more guys, I'd get a call, and then it kind of just transitioned into me being there all the time. So that's
mm.
kind of how it was.
Give us some insight on your background in terms of like, were you in the army? Do you do MMA? Like, outside of the lifting, kind of like, obviously going into the bodyguard role. What kind of, can you give us some backstory on that?
No, I mean, I've just done security basically since I was a teenager. I was like always bouncing at clubs and bouncing at strip clubs and shit. So I kind of knew how to move in that kind of environment and
Mm,
how what to look for and just kind of be vigilant when it came to that. But yeah, no, I don't have any military experience. Shout out to military guys though. But I find that a lot of guys and those guys are a little more suited for like high-end corporate type stuff where there's like a very real threat of like a kidnapping or like
mm,
a high level event happening, right? Where
mm,
there's guns going to be drawn and there's like could be a firefight, there could be an abduction of some kind or ransom type thing like that. But with hip hop and that kind of the music world, it's really not like you kind of need to move different. You can't come in there with like some stuffy attitude and act like you're fucking, you know what I mean? Like telling people what to do and speaking like a fucking robot. Because you
mm,
got to be able to adapt to your situation. You're in the middle of a nightclub and
mm,
you're trying to boss people around that don't want to be bossed around. It's like you kind of
mm,
have to know how to move and how to talk to people and
mm,
you know, what I mean, be respectful. So we had a couple military style guys with us for a bit, and they just didn't last because
mm,
they just didn't vibe with us. I got along with them great. I thought I learned a lot from them actually, but like it just they didn't. They were always just too like on edge, and they were making people uneasy, right? So
mm, mm,
it's a different world. That world So it's a lot of posturing. It's a lot of it's a lot about respect. So if you disrespect someone or you come across as being disrespectful, or you know what I mean, it's things are going to turn bad real quick. But
mm,
as long as you're respectful and everyone's cool with each other, there's really no issues. Like
mm,
I'm not there to like be some fucking tough guy and tell you how to be. It's like I'm here to protect someone.
mm,
I'm not here to like ruin your night. You know what I mean? So
mm, mm,
if it comes to the point where you have to like engage with someone, it's usually settled pretty quickly, right? It doesn't turn into
mm,
a situation, and that's what happens if you're good at what you do. There's really no need, and there shouldn't be ever an issue where your client's getting into a fight or your client's getting physical with someone. Like you should be the one that's settling that down
mm,
way
mm,
before that was ever an option, right? So we
mm,
took
mm.
we took pride in kind of stopping things or catching things before they could become something and kind of
Mm.
putting an end to it and then just moving on from there. So like we never
Nice.
had any bad, like you don't hear anything in the news, so it's a good thing, right?
Mm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, like, I wanted you to share something that maybe not everybody knows about you. I'll go first. I'll go first. So, like, for me, I listen to a lot of Russian rap music. Do I understand Russian? No, I don't.
You
But
know,
I,
do you know G Gun?
no, no,
You know G Gun?
no.
He's like a big fucking rapper. I know him. Forgetting his name's G Gun, Gun or something like that. I am G Gun.
Okay.
Some rapper, some Russian rapper dude. But yeah, no, that's an interesting one for sure.
Right? My son thinks I'm crazy because my son's 20. Well, he'll get in my ride and I'll be putting on this music, right? And he'll just be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, bro? Like, what do you like?" But I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I like it. It gets me in the zone. But I mean,
Oh
do you
yeah.
have something that's kind of unique about you that maybe it's not, call it on your resume, people don't know about it, but something kind of different that you do? Could be anything.
No, I mean I'm on I'm on Fuad's podcast a lot, so people know a lot about me, but
Mm,
we don't really hide stuff there. But I mean, I don't. There's nothing that I really haven't said or that people don't haven't heard about me. I'm kind of an open book, but I guess like if we're going with the music thing, I love house music, so I
mm.
don't know. I spent a little too much time enjoying house music when I was younger, but
Nice. Who's your
yeah.
who's your number one? Like, if you were to get free tickets, who are you gonna go see? Front row.
Right now,
Right now.
probably kind of music
Mm,
or black coffee, but I've seen black coffee like a dozen times, so it's like, but I'll go again. You know what I mean? No problem.
yeah. Yeah.
But I liked Eric Murillo back in the day.
Yeah.
Obviously he's not around anymore, but
Yeah.
it's yeah, probably kind of music right now. I'm not
Nice.
really into like the Tiesto and like the fucking like not the Tiesto's that, but like the EDM type shit, like Marshmallow. I don't like all that shit. I like real
Mm.
house music, like legit house music.
No, I'm the same. I mean, black coffee is right up there for me. That's what
Yeah.
about like something like Carl Cox? Is that a little too hard, or we're like,
No, I would see Carl Cox. It just doesn't come
yeah,
like right to the forefront, but I like Carl
yeah,
Cox a lot. I would
yeah.
honestly see most DJs. I would go and
Mm,
see them, but it's just a matter of like it's like I don't want to see you at a festival because
mm.
I don't want to see the rest of the shit lineup. I just want to see
Yes,
you.
yes. Oh,
You know
I'm
what I
the
mean?
same way, bro.
Like
I'm this.
I'll go to like a club where you're doing a
Yeah.
night, and I'll go to like a pool party or something. But like I'm not standing at Veld waiting for this DJ to go on. It's like fuck
Mm,
that, dude.
mm,
Not
mm.
trying to burn to death in the sun and fucking melt before you come on the stage.
Nice.
No.
Just quickly here. I mean, if you were traveling, like, where's your favorite place to travel if you were to go away somewhere?
Well, I went to Turks and Caicos a few years ago. That was really nice. I like Aruba a lot. I would go to Aruba probably before Turks again. So yeah, probably Aruba.
How's
I
the
like
gyms
I
up
like
there?
Australia too.
Are the
I
gyms
like,
any good in Aruba? Or is
oh
there
no, I
some?
have no idea. I just trained in the hotel.
Oh, nice,
I
nice.
wasn't there to work out that week. I was just hanging out.
So let's talk about your academy. You got a lot happening with the academy. I'd like to invite, Trevor, if you want to join, feel free to join, and, we'll talk a little bit more about it if he's around.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. I couldn't see anything. But yeah, the academy is it kind of just came about with the kind of encouragement of Trevor because Trevor's a client of mine who's been training with me for about a year or so now. And I always had the desire basically give back or to reach more people that I could than one-on-one training, which is kind of what I do. And a lot of people for a long time have been telling me, "Oh, put out like a training app or put out a fucking program and this and that." And it's like I can't really in good faith offer a program to people that like I'm telling them to do shit, but I don't know how they're doing it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's no, it's not different than anything else they could just get online, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
idea with the academy was to bring together groups of people, more so also other trainers and people who just want to work out better, and teach them my mentality and my style of movement, and kind of be able to visually cue people, but also have other individuals there who see how this person's being trained, and they may move differently than the next person who sits on the bench, and like show why their differences, why you would adjust the training for that person as opposed to this person. We could have one person like sitting up on this type of an angle, and the next guy is hyper flexible. We need to get him more here, right? So to elicit the same kind of response you want in the movement. So
Mm-hmm.
just being able to do that with more eyes on it in like an actual interactive space was the goal. But I just didn't know how to structure it really, because I'm more of like I'm kind of focused on what I'm doing, and Trevor kind of had the kind of like bird's eye view of it, of how he could make it all come together. So that's
Yeah,
why he's here.
nice. Trevor, did you want to add anything or talk about the upcoming event that's coming up?
Yeah, I would just say, I've worked with a lot of the like online coaches in the business, and I felt like there was always something missing for myself that wouldn't allow me to like to take it to the next level, because there was nobody there to like offer that in person as well. And that's why I started working with Mike to begin with about a year and a half ago, because I'm like, there's just something missing for me and I want to take my physique to another level.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm of the same thought of mine too, is like I'm not gonna work with somebody that isn't in like in better shape than me or has done more in a specific area of life. And obviously, Mike has like walked that path.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we started working together and we connected, and then I was like, I'd asked him a few questions about like online coaching and why he hadn't done it, and he was just like, well, I just wouldn't want to sell myself out and just sell somebody a program. So I'm like, okay, well, we just had a conversation one day. It was like, well, what if I could find a way to make it cohesive, where there was something in person, there was something online? And he was like, sure. He's like, I'd be open to it. And then I literally was just like, I just threw a little something together. I brainstormed and like kind of brought it to the table. And he was like, this is kind of like what I've been thinking for a long time. And this is, I think, the right way for us to be able to do it. So we just continued to build on that. And this is kind of where we're at now. So I think it's a great way to be able to offer something different than what currently exists in the marketplace. I would say there's not going to be anything like this out there, because people are either doing seminars or they're just doing online coaching, and this is a hybrid version of both. So I think ultimately the goal is like, we just want to give away so much, and we want to be able to offer, educate, and provide value to the audience. And like, whatever comes out of it is a byproduct of that. But ultimately, we're just trying to have impact. And I think that's what this event and what this tour and the academy and everything is going to do.
Nice. So the first academy is going to be in St. Thomas, and when is the date? And what tell us a little bit about it? Is it a full day? And what can people kind of expect in terms of like the hybrid? What you talked about, a little bit more depth on that.
Yeah, so it's January 24th. So we're about 2 weeks out from 12 o'clock to 2:30. And I myself, like, I do a lot of I build transformations into a lot of CEOs, and I focus on like lifestyle, finding that balance, building the mindset, and the discipline that's required for you to be able to operate at a high level in life. So what the event is going to be is essentially 2.5 hours. Mike's going to talk about some theory at first, and then I'm going to talk about how is it that you can build the discipline, the consistency, shift your identity to become somebody who can actually implement this long term. Because a lot of people start things and then they stop and they quit because they haven't developed those habits. And then we're going to transition into live instructional, where we're going to have the trainers and then people from the audience, and we're going to incorporate, Mike's training style. And essentially, that's how we're going to run each one of these seminars, and that's what we call the Wicked Tour. And then we have the online digital component that's going to roll out after that. And that's going to be a lot of exclusive content from Mike, and questions from the audience, and just him giving some actual touch points and feedback to people that they wouldn't otherwise be able to get. So essentially getting access to Big Mike like they were in person, but being able to do it from afar and all around the world.
Mm. And so for people out there who are watching that want to jump on and get some more information, where should they go?
Yeah, so they can either reach out to either one of us or the Wicked Few page, or they can go to wicked.com and they will find the landing page there that breaks down everything from the academy, the membership, and the Wicked tours that we're doing. And they can feel free to reach out to us at any time and ask any questions.
Nice. Mike, did you want to add anything on that?
No, you kind of covered it all. I'm looking forward to being able to just show people, like, because I train a lot of people who see me online and see my videos, and when they come to train with me, it's a different experience for them. So I want to be able to like lay that foundation for people and kind of make them see that this isn't just about, like, working out isn't just about like listening to instructions and then interpreting it how you want. It's way more in depth, and there's way more nuance to it, and it's not about like these nuances that they've made you think it's about. It's about setting yourself properly and like understanding how to move your body, and like
Mm,
how drastically like the littlest thing can change the whole movement, like whether it's how tight you're keeping your neck or the position of your head or wherever you're putting your shoulders. Like, this is like gonna, the idea is to show people that it's that simple to make a change, and it's that simple to feel things and do things better. It's not as complicated as everyone wants it to be. So
mm.
yeah, looking forward to it.
We're gonna have some cream of rice and hydro pure on hand there, or what?
Yeah, we won't say
Absolutely.
the cream of rice brand though. It'll be nameless.
Nice. And I mean, for people who are going, obviously, that show up. I mean, when they leave, what can people expect to take with them in terms of, are they going to get the knowledge, basic knowledge, nutrition? Like, when I leave this, what should I feel like what kind of value should I be getting?
Well, the thing is that the the seminars aren't going to be, it's not a pre-programmed thing. Like, we're going to have an idea of like, take a poll when we're there, kind of get a feel for what people want to train. So it's like, do you
Mm,
guys want to focus on chest today? Like, it's not about me. I know what I
mm,
know. So I'm not there to like tell you what I know. I'm there to
mm,
like help you understand what it is that you don't understand. So if it's decided that we're going to do chest and triceps in the time that we have, or chest and whatever the hell people feel like doing over the majority, and we can cover stuff that's not chest and triceps, it's just kind of what's been giving people the most problem, and maybe once we develop the how do we fix this problem, see how it overlaps and affects that problem, and then we can
mm,
see how it overlap and affects here, because movement is movement, and when it comes down to it, movement carries across all forms of lifting. Like, the way you do your chest is exactly the way you do your back in the reverse.
mm,
So there's no, once you understand chest, you understand back, and once you understand back, you understand chest. So it's like all these things are antagonists and go together. It's just that you've separated them as to being two different things in your mind. So it's like,
mm,
we train chest. Well, because half the people I train on chest will tell me they get a back pump like they've never felt before, because they're
mm,
understanding how to control their scapula, and understanding how to drop their shoulders and press properly, right? So that causes engagement in the back. So it's just kind of creating, like, connecting the dots for people is the main goal, and understanding that like we're not coming at you like you don't know what you're doing in the gym. The understanding is you have a foundation, you want to get better at it. There's just some stuff that's not connecting. So like, let's connect, and then let's figure out what we can do to help that like fortify that for good, so you don't slip back into these older patterns, right? Because
mm,
it's just, the overwhelming thing is just understand that like this doesn't need to be complicated, and the fixes are so easy, and they may take a little bit of your ego getting hit a bit, but if that's all it takes to get better, then what's the point, right? Like,
mm.
it's not that big of a deal. So
What about
generally,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
also just the value for, I mean, if we're appealing to a lot of trainers out there and trying to get, the idea is to create value for a lot of people who are personal trainers, kind of get you better at your craft. Not to say that you're bad, it's just there is a lot of trainers that are new to the game or have never trained people before. They have a hard time formulating how to lay out a workout, and they have a hard time formulating like, what do I do with my client that keeps them entertained? And so you see them doing all these needless activities like battle ropes and things like that, when the person just wants to get a better physique.
Mm,
So since you have a hard time kind of telling them what to do that's correct for, let's say, chest, they get bored, you get bored, because you see that they're not enjoying themselves, they're not connecting, because you're not able to verbalize or cue properly. And then it's like, well, let's just go do box jumps. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
Like,
mm,
it's trying to give these trainers a sense of confidence, and also give them, with me being there beside them, like, I'm showing them why I'm cueing what I'm cueing. Like, you guys can come over here and see, like, his pressure on the bench is in his ass, it's not in his back. and his feet are not in the ground, they're damping around, and he's pressing everything with his shoulder, you can see here. So you can manipulate people and see, and then they physically see when you manipulate them, because someone who's getting cued in the movement can feel it, but visually seeing it is important too, because that's how I cue. I don't feel what the person feels. I know what the
Mm,
feeling is because I felt it before, but I
mm,
have to visually see the movement of the body and how it shifts to move the weight, right? So
mm,
that is the key thing that I want to kind of pass off to people, is like having the eye for movement. So not only when you're training your clients, you're better, but if two dudes or two girls come that train together and they train together all the time, they can start cueing each other based off what each of one of them needs. And
mm,
it's not the same, because two guys are not, they don't have the same issue as each other. If they're doing
mm,
legs together, one guy does this, the other guy does that, and they're both trying to do the same shit, but they can help each other become better too, as understanding how to cue and understanding where to see movement, right? So
mm,
that's
mm,
kind of the overwhelming goal. It's not necessarily like, if you train like this and you eat like this is going to happen to you. It's like, no, you can train and eat however the hell you want. You can eat, you can do any program you want. You can lift how you desire to lift, but let's lift better and let's do things in a proper way so that you're getting the benefit out of what it is that you're doing, right?
mm, mm.
I can also say from like personal experience, like working with Mike, I've been lifting for like 18 years. I played competitive sports. I've lifted my entire life. And I will say that I had to relearn everything that I thought about lifting myself when I worked with Mike, and like ways that I used to be able to put my body in specific positions. I had to go in positions that I didn't even understand how to put my body in that position to begin with. And my movement has improved so much in such a small span of time. So I would say to people out there, a lot of people operate from ego and they're like, well, I know how to work out. Well, it doesn't matter how long you worked out. It's like, I can go play golf every weekend. Doesn't mean I'm fucking good at it. Right.
Mm,
So this is like really just dialing and tweaking like what you're doing and making yourself better. So I would say anybody who thinks that they know everything and they know how to work out, that's not the case. Like there's every level can learn from what Mike has to offer. And I'm a perfect example of that. I've experienced it myself.
mm. So I don't know about this one, but in the future, are you guys going to have any way to people that can't make it to the event that they could log on online or?
It's not, I don't
We'd
ever
like
say
it
it's
to.
not something we've considered. But what I would say for people who can't make it in person, that content from the event specifically will be exclusively offered to the academy. So they will have access to it if they are an academy member.
Nice, nice. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to chat about today or any questions for me before we wrap up?
Not off the top
I
of my
talked a
head, I
lot.
don't. Yeah, no. Like I just say, yeah, like I love what you guys do. Like I've used your products. I think they're great, and I'm the same exact way. Like I'm no bullshit. I won't ever work with anybody or use something or promote somebody that I don't personally use in my day to day life. So same with Mike. Like I use your products. I love them. I would buy them regardless. I'm just grateful to be able to have this affiliation with you guys and have this collaboration throughout the tour and just continue to offer value to people and give them good products.
Nice, nice. Well, I'm excited for this tour. Honestly, it's going to be great. And, I'm if I can make it out there, I'm going to try to make it out to see one of these for sure. You guys have any plans to expand outside of Ontario? Maybe do some BC, get out to the West Coast at all, or just in
I
general?
might go to Realm in Calgary.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, listen, thanks you guys for joining us on Perform Podcast. It was great to have you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Take care.